I know. Pegboard nerds must have you locking at the sound. All of the gal I go passing when me boy I go drop them a coming. Murderous. Me a the burning fire and natural born killer. When me bust into flame, watch out some mics. You better turn it. I am make the bad boy bigger. When they come around, we all go on them. Listen to the word and the fire you caught in the middle. When the flames get higher, put up your gun fingers. Return all of the fire. It's a bad man signal. Give a sign. And put your gun finger trigger. Gun finger trigger. Gun finger trigger. Gun finger trigger. Return all of the fire. It's a bad man signal. Give a sign. And put your gun finger trigger. Put your gun finger trigger. Put your gun finger trigger. It's a bad man signal, give a sign. Put your gun finger trigger. Me a the burning fire and natural born killer. When me bust into flame, watch out some mics. You better turn it. I am make the bad boy bigger. When they come around, we all go on them. Listen to the word and the fire you caught in the middle. When the flames get higher, put up your gun fingers. Return all of the fire. It's a bad man signal. Give a sign. And put your gun finger trigger. Gun finger trigger. Gun finger trigger. Gun finger trigger. Return all of the fire. It's a bad man signal. Give a sign. And put your gun finger trigger. And put your gun finger trigger. And put your gun finger trigger. It's a bad man signal, give a sign. And put your gun finger trigger.
Hello, Trojans, and welcome to Valorant Night. We're going to have a great game against USD, the Coyotes, and I think it's going to go great. Me and Caden here, my wonderful co-host, by the way, had a great discussion with the leader this evening. We had dinner over Sodexo. We were talking strategy, talking the mindset going into this. It really had gotten to his head.
Mr. Frogfan gave us some insight, and we gave him some of our insight.
You know it. So first off with the map picks, we're going to be seeing Ascent first, and then we're going to be in the attack. Then after that, we're going to go to Fracture, and that is very interesting.
The first time we'll get to see Fractured. I've been keeping up with the games, not in the casting booth, of course, but this will be the first time we see Fractured. It'll be really hype.
I like it. It's like a weird map, so I'm just excited to see like players in this weird new environment.
Yeah.
And then the last map is Icebox, which we will probably get to see because I know the last time we played USD it went 2-1. So
a Trojan classic, the Icebox.
So yeah, DSU banned Breeze first, and that's something we knew were going to happen because they're not a huge fan of Breeze.
They don't like the castle anymore. They got kicked out ever since it got changed.
So I remember them talking earlier that they were like learning Fracture a little bit, and who picked it? USD picked Fracture. So I guess they wanted to ban Breeze just right away, which wow,
they said it was Fracture? USD's best map, so it makes sense they want to ban it. And they said they weren't feeling discomfortable on Fractured, so we'll see how that goes. We talked with a Frog fan, and he said that the most essential agent or operator, whatever you call him, on Fractured is Breach. He has a series of flashbangs and concussions, so we'll see if he gets pulled out. But we're going to Ascent for the first map. I personally don't like Ascent. I think it's a really boring map. You push somewhere and someone's dying on whichever team, which I guess is how the game should be. It's TDM or bomb. So
yeah, very popular sentiment, but I unpopularly think it's kind of fun to watch. I liked it.
I think it's fun to watch.
It's like I like it straightforward to watch because it's like smaller.
For sure. Looks like we're getting in.
All right, let's see these picks.
The picks.
Billy on Omen. We saw that 2 games ago when I casted. Jamula on Reza.
It's Reyna.
Reyna. I got close. All right, I got close. Killjoy.
Opting for a Sentinel, and then they might go double util with Robo Man and Crossbow Steve. We'll see that. But it looks like both teams are opting for very different team comps, with the Sova being the only one that could potentially be on both teams. Sova's a cornerstone and has been for quite some time in Valorant, being able to get a lot of utility from both information and damage, but USD has yet to lock in. They're locking in now.
USD kind of seems to has like a safe comp here, like with the
Sage. They have 2 healers,
Sova,
a lot of
Sky,
healing.
and Jet. Like that just seems like the main characters of Valorant, if that makes sense.
For sure.
With Brim too after that buff, so he's like the only non-main.
Was the Brim buff out last week?
It was.
Okay.
If I am right, Billy is no longer rocking the chicken.
Neither is Xeon. So
yeah, Xeon wasn't before, and Billy was. So.
Slowly converting us away from the chicken, actually.
Might be some internal team arguments going on about banners. I have no clue. All right, pistol rounds loading up.
Who do you think takes pistol round?
DSU, of course.
Of course.
Wow, no skin on that pistol.
You see side on where they want to go. DSU stacking towards B side right now. But having Spike, probably just going to drop it in the spawn. Looks like it's a standard setup with 2A and then 2B, and one's running around in the middle. We'll see what happens. Xeon going to get some early information probably with his bolt. No one's in mid, they see, so they're going to push up aggressively. Take early mid prio. In this orb. Able to get that first pick. The door does shut on them though, so they're going to have to break that open. They're going to rush onto site. They assume there's only 1 or 2 people on. Able to get him. They know the rest are coming from CT though, so they're going to have to watch that. Jimula goes down.
Clean.
Xeon able to get 1. It's just a game of hide and seek now with DSU not having to leave their bomb. They own that site. They're going to have to come to them.
Yep, DSU got very fast take on B site there. And with the 3 on USD rotating over, they are doing a pretty good job of retaking site if I do
Last
say so.
player standing.
It's just Frogman left.
Tuck taken out.
But they might
Okay,
be
bad
able to
shot.
get the round. Unlikely, though. Let's see the time at the top.
Ooh.
It was 1 second left.
Sweating there. Yeah, if I...
Mello was a menace.
Mello, yeah. Last time we played them, I remember Mello just absolutely getting all the kills in their team.
He's very good with his shots. He knows where to click really well.
We just wait until he gets the operator on his hands, man. Then it's going to get very dirty very quickly. All right, DSU losing the pistol around there. Going to set them back a little bit. Going with the frenzies here. That's something we started seeing recently. I mean,
Just allows for a quicker
okay, just 2 of them.
get on to the point. Just shoot. Get in their bodies and blast. Of course, they're not expecting to win this round, so they're just going to try to get on. Maybe get a SMG or anything.
Yeah, anything they can do to boost those, I think is going to be great for them. I mean, winning would be even better, but that's not exactly realistic. Picking up, is that the... I don't know what gun that is. Judge?
Ares.
Ares.
It's a smaller version of the Odin, pretty much.
Player standing.
If that was the Odin and he got that headshot, I would have killed.
Red Frog picking up the 3 for USD to clinch out the second round for them. All right, we're here. I'm going to guess DSU is going to
be able to get that full buy.
Yep. And then we'll see
them in action.
how the early game shapes up here. Is Mello really going to just rock a sheriff? I mean, it has worked for him in the past, but for them in the past.
It's probably, who knows? He could be deciding on a gun. He has enough for an AR, but he might just want to save up for an operator next round. Even if he does die, he'll have it.
Yeah. Looks like he's going to stick with that.
Here.
They have double sheriffs on their team, on USD side.
Area.
So 2 pistols, and DSU is fully loaded with rifles, so we'll see how this goes for him. Looks like they're taking that early mid control, pushing up.
Getting a bit of a slower push here. I think Tuck's going to try and get the jump on him here.
Barely not seeing each other. Brim's just watching to make sure they don't go through that entryway. That's all he needs to do.
Playing a much slower round here. DSU doesn't seem like they want to initiate any sort of attack here. Oh, Billy teleporting.
That was his smoke.
Okay, smoke. Right, that's his ult is teleporting.
Well, he can do a small teleport, but it's only on his screen. His ult can go anywhere on the map. And it actually blocks out the mini-map for the other team.
Ooh.
How they're able to get that kill on Tuck. He's one of the 2 with the sheriff. Get Veggie down. They know Sky's on point. Can't use any abilities. J-Mula is draining her. Getting that overhealed. He's got both of his flashes, the blinders, the eyeballs left.
Yeah, with only 2 people left on USD, DSU's doing a great job of resetting the economy here.
Billy's doing a late lurk to try to catch them off guard. Mula's heading out.
Mello's headshots, iconically coming in to ruin their flawless here.
Billy gets Mello with the flank though, and they know the last one's in mid. Heavily lit. Just
Not a lot
hold
Rory
it.
can do here. Especially with the
Slowly.
Oh,
Nice.
there we go. All right, that's going to do great. Only J Mula having to rebuy there.
So on USD side, everybody should, well, besides the Sova and the Sage, will be able to buy full utility armor and a gun, but everybody else on their team should be fine.
Yep, so hopefully DSU can capitalize on that and win this run, and then have the big advantage there on the economy.
Ultimates are starting to come out into the game now. Mello has his, and 2 other people are 1 away from theirs. See how they affect the game state, but
See, strong A entrance here. Oh, immediately USD's rotating back over. Doesn't look like they're going for a fake
try to
here from
fake
DSU.
it, but they're just gonna commit.
Going all in. Oh,
Shut
J-Mo's
the
got
door.
a tough
J-Mo's
door going
really
too.
hurt.
Yeah.
It's okay. Mello. Both of the entries for the teams go down. Let's see if they push out of that smoke from tree. Destroyed that. Xeon's in a really bad position. We have Howler in health. Billy holding right on the bomb. Able to get 2.
Nice.
They know the last one's up there. And I didn't know Howler died. My bad.
Yeah, they died quick there on point, but
Very
Billy picking up
action-packed
the
round.
3. Yeah, that was a very close one. Veggie's just able to last out the round longer, so that's. I mean, it doesn't put DSU at the advantage, but they're not going to be at a huge disadvantage for losing because, I mean, only Veggie survived that round. So they are going to, I mean, they're down by 2 right now, but their economy's not in shambles. It's pretty close econ rating.
Everybody but Howler should be able to buy what they want.
Mm-hmm. Mello has yet to pick up the op, thankfully.
Mm-hmm.
I think if DSU had lost the 3rd round, then he definitely would have
Mm-hmm.
gotten it by 4th.
This map's a little bit harder to op on. You can really only do it on. You can do it on both sites, but it's not a long distance as the other maps.
Yeah. Spotting the solo, but not getting the tag. Ooh, almost got the shot through the smoke.
Ooh, Veggie getting hurt really bad, but they have a lot of heals on that team. Let's see if they'll keep him in. Sky's healing him up on B site. Still have 2 on A, 2 on B. DSU still deciding where they want to go. They're walking around, not to raise any suspicion. Keep them in the dark with that intel.
You can see USD is still not certain where they're going. They still got this Sky posted on A, and then Raymond
If they
back
can get
mid.
that pick, it would be big. They're smoking into mid.
Spike carrier is dead. Spike down.
Able to trade, so it's a 3v3. Frogfan really hurt though. Oh, she's got knives out.
Nice, Jamie protecting it with the Marshall.
Last player standing.
Frog going down to the molly.
Oh,
The
no,
knives
getting hit
able
with
to
the
secure
knives,
that
yeah.
round. DSU does have 4 ults now. Let's see if they use those to get a advantage on one of the sites.
Yeah, that was a very good retake from USD. They really able to pick off DSU where it counted. Mello is coming in with the very nice entrance there, using the ult to get the kill there.
They do have Brim. They do have 3 ults on the defense as well, though. Brim's ult is a really good utility to stop like a push halfway. So you either have to commit fully or you have to wait, and then it allows that team to rotate quick.
What's Sky ult again? Is that the
Sky ult, it
gremlins?
releases the little goblins that run around, and if it releases 3 little spirits, and if they touch somebody, it concusses them and allows them not to see very far. The defense is instantly opening up with Sova ult, not able to kill anybody. They're doing an attacker killjoy ult on B, but they're stacking towards A, so they're gonna try to. They're nuking it. They're opening up the skies on it, so it's gonna get destroyed. On A, there's some action though, and in the mid, 2 people on DSU going down. Both of which had their ult, so that's really unlucky. Some utility that could have been used.
Deploying drone.
Doing some recon in the mid, see if they can't recover this round at all.
Oh, spotting that Sova right before it gets destroyed. I think DSU might go A here, or maybe B. They're just watching A long.
They do
Yeah, there
still
we
only
go,
have the
buddy.
Sky on B. Sova's gonna start rotating because they heard the sentry get deployed at B.
30 seconds left.
They're gonna have to commit somewhere. It's better to die than to live with a gun most of the time in this game. It doesn't give you as much money.
Last player standing.
They're running
Red
out.
Frog getting the double there.
It's
on
just
the side.
power left in a 1v4 situation.
Trying to get the spike in there for the credits.
Maybe
It's
that.
gonna work out for him. Unfortunately, not much else.
Their Brimstone has been landing some really good mollies, allowing to get some real utility out of that. It's already gotten him 2 kills in this game. They're gonna give it to Sage, see if she gets her ult from that. She doesn't, but hers takes one of the longest. It's 8, so it takes quite a long time to get hers. But
Oh,
it does
yeah.
allow the return of a teammate, which is really, really powerful.
Yeah, talking about from DSU here, I think they're going to try and reset the momentum. Ascent is their map pick, so I think this is something that they really want to hit hard now that they're, I mean, not in a great situation right now, absolutely recoverable. Of course, they've come back from much worse, but with 4 down and the economy is not doing so great for them. I think they want to have a refresh real quick.
I agree. It's not looking too hot. There's been 2 rounds extremely close where it's just been one person left on USD's side, so could be just happen chance, but they do need to get back into gears, get their clock working, you know?
Yeah,
and then
absolutely.
so they can start ticking that all the gears together.
I'm just kind of, I like seeing Thomas at DSU. Like, it's like, I find it weird. Not from, I don't know. I mean, obviously I don't know esports too well, but normally you use all the time that you have available just to get as much, like, strategy going as possible. So that's something I very rarely saw at, like, the earlier in CCL days, CCL Valorant, and now I see it. Not both teams don't do it every time, but they at least one team does a timeout per match, which is, I mean, technically it's more boring for us, but I think it's nice to see because it, you know, it definitely improves the play.
Looks like they're doing a strong push on to B.
Oh yeah, instantly.
It's just the
landing
Sage
too.
there, but Sage can buy a lot of time. Xeon able to get that pick with the Ares. They're pushing on quick. Blinds are going out. Smokes are still down. Kills are
Veggie
going
did
down.
B.
Great shot from Jim Moore there to get Rory in the back.
Get that. They are able to get on site and get bombed down. Howler's gonna go down through the wall though because he got spotted or tracked by the drone. The Brim on the other team is gonna smoke the entire back, and Sky ult is coming through. Billy having the deagle out. Turns right at the last second. Really unlucky. It's a 2v2.
Last player
Ooh,
standing.
unfortunately, Jim
A
was not
1v2.
able to reach the third.
One enemy remaining.
And it looks like Veggie will have time. Again, it's super close. Super, super close.
Yeah, USD is really good at applying that pressure from multiple angles simultaneously, not really giving DSU a chance to, like, recuperate and, you know, anticipate where they're coming from.
And the biggest thing is Veggie was able to save Mello's op there. Keep that momentum. It's all their team thrives on Mello being able to get a pick or two every round. Just gives them that initial lead. So if they're able to keep that operator in play, never have to rebuy it, it helps them
Right
a
here.
ton.
Right
DSU
here.
just needs to win one round and get that op out of play.
Oh! That was like a jump scare. Wow, okay.
And this round is falling apart for DSU.
Very bad start.
Billy is
Just
able to
kind
get
of unlucky.
a dink, a double dink even, onto Mello, but it's not enough. They have so much heals on that team, they're going to be able to... Frog making this a 2v3, which is now doable. But they do have they do have Sage ult, so they are going to make it... They're probably going to go into the tree area and get that res off to make it a 4v2 to even secure the rounds more. Walking over, they're going to get the res up, yep.
Yep.
Billy's going to hold the flank while Frog stays in hell to stay as deep as possible away from people. The dog does not see him. That's very important.
If they know where they're coming from, not going to catch the blind either.
Billy's just got to play this slow, draw aggro, don't peek.
Player standing.
Oh, Mello able to get the kill on Frog, which is unlucky. And
Just-
again, it's...
Just incredible work on Mello, from being honest there, especially with the revive there. DSU did great that round, but that Mello was just absolutely overwhelming.
They're definitely going to need to rethink their strategy about... They can't take these longer sight lines anymore. They have to play and respect that op. USD is now busting out an Odin, which we know is notoriously good on B site because that's where we watch Zulu go crazy so many different times. Billy not able to buy anything, and for the most part, Everybody else is
yeah.
able to have a gun besides Billy.
Silver Dark going out. Oh, and
able
revealing
just
Frog fan.
It's able just to see Frog though. But Veggie
Safe from
is,
the Odin.
Yep.
Yeah, just chilling.
Mello is working a close angle though with the op.
Ooh. That was very
Able to burn her dash.
nice.
Important.
Shadows traveling.
She only gets one per dash, and then she has to get 2 kills to get that back.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
From the Sova
Xeon
coming
hitting
out.
Billy, which isn't the best. Breaking his armor.
Checking out Rory though, finding him. And yet USD is yet to rotate back over to A after Frog fan.
Xeon pushing
Taking
onto point. Seeing that she was blinded by Billy, that was some good work together, but he does get tagged and Veggie's able to find him. But it is a 3v4, and we are Killjoy ulting, so that means people are not able to use their abilities on the defense side in this entire area. But it's not going to last forever. It's going to run out very soon. But just able to take that and get hold of that site is very important.
Ooh,
Frog getting a face full of
Player
bird,
standing.
not able to do much. And he's just going to get found in the smoke, really is.
Red Frog is really using all the utility in Sky's kit to its maximum advantage. He's hitting almost everything, being able to clear sight super well,
Red
as
Frog
well as getting
does-
the kills in.
From when I watched him at our LAN we did last year as well, he's very aggressive with his flashes. He does not, most of the time he's just having the flash in his hands. He doesn't even have his gun out. He's just ready to use his flash. He doesn't care if he's going to die. The utility will still go off.
Exactly, yeah. So I see him paired up with somebody at the same time too, which makes those util even better.
They do
They're
have
really
another
seeing
Killjoy
themselves.
ult on DSU side.
Ooh,
So, but
yeah.
and defense does not have Brim ult to instantly destroy that. So we'll see if that gets used. They are. They're doing it right now. Jimula does have his ult as well. See if he will use it. It's very situational in Reyna. Most of the time I'm just like, go ahead, use it, but the increased attack speed on the guns can mess you up most of the time. It can be rough.
Ooh, blind firing almost hit some. Jimmy revealed from Sova for the kill there.
Veggie was able to get a kill at the start of that round and get his ult, and then able to get another one. The Sage is able to hold up at the back of B, hold their ground, take out 2. Xeon able to get 2, but he is at 30 HP against
Revealing area.
3 people, and 2 of them are healers. So they're all going to be topped off and ready to fight.
Yeah, Sion's in a really tough spot here. They're going on a
He's
manhunt
definitely
right
in
now.
a pickle.
trying to
They know
find
he's
him.
in there.
Yeah, just one tapped right there. That was, I mean, Jeller Rory was backed up in a tough spot, and he still was able to come out on top, getting 2 of DSUs before
It's
falling.
working for them. Just putting him on B, and it looks like they've been doing more heavy-sided towards A, because the Sage can just buy that much time. Like, allow that. DSU does have a very good defense-oriented team. They just needed to get through the start of the game. 2 more rounds, and they'll be on defense, but they do have quite the lead. But the 9-3 curse could happen if DSU is able to get the 2.
Yeah, hopefully we can just pick
Right here.
up to here. I mean, just even from morale, it's going to do a lot better. A strong mid here instead of...
Billy's able to get a quick one with the Deagle. Very good. You're very good for DSU. That drone able to get a lot of intel. It's not going to hit anybody. It's just going to find them all. Jimilo holding this angle, just waiting. But Veggie's not going to allow it. He's just going to sit there, shoot his bow, barely be seen.
Yep. Oh.
He's going to jump peek at C.
Yeah.
He's still peeking, and he's like, nope, I'm not falling for it. So he's just going to move on to B site. Mello's very aggressively, like, in front of A. Probably holding the op still. But DSU has full control of mid, so they're just going to buy time. They have 40 seconds. That's a lot of time to work with. It's going to make USD paranoid, you know. Looks like DSU is committing, though.
30 seconds
Mello able to
left.
find one. Billy does get Mello, but Veggie's
Spike
Odin
down
will find
A.
its mark. They didn't get the bomb. They got the bomb.
They got the
It's
bomb,
on,
yeah.
It's on A now. They're
Veggie's
planning.
doing. Oh.
Billy is with 3. Let's see if he can get an ace with the 2 people left. He does have his ult. He could use that, and Jimula does have his ult as well.
There was a great shutdown from Billy there. Veggie was able to do a lot of work before with the Odin in heaven.
It's a really good shot or smoke right as they smoke, so it just negates that.
It makes him super vulnerable
Nice.
coming out there. Oh,
Jimula,
stealing the ace.
he does take it, but I'd rather them win it than try to give it over to Billy.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. No hard feelings there. 9-2, which makes a 9-3 very possible.
And they were able to get that Odin out of play. It's on Jimula's hands now, but they did get it really late, so USD's able to get that operator back into play, straight back into Mello's hands, because he just had so much money from the previous rounds.
Yep, with that streak, you got to win more than one to be able to put them on the ropes. Last round before the swap, so going all out here.
Two ults for both each side as well. See how those affect the game. Sky's ult's very good. You can just use that whenever. Get intel, stop a push, anything. It's very powerful. They are doing a heavy B stack though, with only 2 on A, but they know Mello's just holding that angle. Ooh, Xeon able to help Billy complete that kill. That's very useful. And they don't know it, but everybody on B is dead, so they're gonna start making their way over. Oh, Frog's very confident.
Just Mello and the Brim left on USD's side, and Mello's gonna look for a play here with all those knives, and let's see if it works out for him.
So they're both right in there. I don't know exactly what it's called. We're gonna call it shop.
One
2
enemy
of them are in
remaining.
shop. Billy's able to get one right in there. Tuck tuck, dropping the. They know he's in there.
Oh, Tuk Tuk getting through the
And
wall kill.
they don't need to go crazy. They just need to hold the bomb. And they got 2 of them. They have turret, so they don't even need to peek. They are brimstoning the back.
Last player
It
standing.
does get Frog.
1v1 here. Tuk
Xeon
Tuk
does
going
not need to peek,
very low.
but
There we
he
go.
will, and he gets the kill to make that a 3-9.
Which is great. Honestly, better than
sides.
9-4. But getting those last kills on there is gonna make DSU feel a lot better as they go into the defense round. And as Caden said, they are a bit more of a defense-oriented team, so
As
I think
well
this is gonna
as
go a lot better.
I'd say USD having a Sage is useful once you take site, but is not that useful till you take a site on offense. So they're gonna have to use that Xeon recon. They have a lot of utility. They have smokes, they have flashes, they have scans. They're gonna be able to use all that, but we'll see if DSU is able to stop that.
oh, yeah.
One good KO disable will stop their entire push because they're all utility. Xeon pushing out. Very
very quickly
confident.
decides that's what he wants to do.
his shock does hit and it puts Mello to half, but of course they have 2 healers, so that's gonna be instantly healed up. The dog does find Howler. He does throw his molly to slow the push to get the teammates over, but it is smoke, so they're gonna have to play it slow. Billy's getting a smoke out, but it might be too late. They're already all committed onto the point. Frog fan is coming over. They just need to wait for the rest of their team. It's a 4v3. Everybody
Spike
but
planted.
the Brim is on the point. Billy might have heard one. He's not gonna peek. They're gonna peek for him. Get the 2. Jumbo's gonna get overhealed. Very powerful thing about Reyna in these rounds is she can get armor equivalent. But Mel is able to find his
that
shots.
4th,
and get
yeah.
4 kills.
That was kind of a deja vu round there with USD. I mean, with DSU trying to capture B site from USD. Mello's doing great work from the back. We haven't seen Mello back there on the defense, and so unsurprisingly does just as great in defense as attack. Sometimes with the, I want to call him a flank. Try hard
Roamer?
class.
Like
the average Jet main. Usually going for kills. Not always going to defense there, but Mello clearly proven that wrong. What's it called? What's Jet's class?
She's I forgot as well.
Instalock. Engagers? I don't know.
Mhm.
All right, I'm going to stop embarrassing myself. All right, going on to Ace.
Billy
super
is in the
strong.
middle of all of them.
Oh!
Billy's going to have to work around that wall. Frog's finding one. This is a really big round if they're able to win it because they just have their pistols. It's a 3v3, 3v2. USD favored. They're going to top off. They have 2 healers, both alive still. Mello's getting healed up all the way.
Planted.
Both the healers are staying on point while Mello's going to sit off site. That slow does come down. It's very
Last player
detrimental.
standing.
It's impossible to walk through that.
Yep, and Red Frog cleaning it up for the third there. Ooh, that
You'd think
Sage
you'd
is
be slipping and
nasty.
sliding, going quicker through ice, but no, you're stuck in a blockade.
Yep. In both of the first 2 pistol rounds, that Sage wall was doing a lot of work there to keep DSU on the decline. Instantly going up once they had the advantage on, or instantly going up to give them the advantage on site.
Sage is a really powerful pick. Normally, they're not on the top of the leaderboard unless they're in your solo queue games. But their utility is unmatched. They have, it's all for the team. The wall, the slow, the heal, it's all there. The res.
Enemy suppressed.
There's the 3. So they know that they're over there, all at B. Or, yeah, towards B.
USD taking a lot slower this round. Gonna be hoping that DSU's gonna engage them in mid or somewhere.
Probably trying to find a quick pick like you're saying, yeah. Oh, does get found, but he throws his molly instantly. Slow that. That molly hurts really bad. It can kill you in 3 pulses, and it does 4.
Yeah, Brim just trying to smoke
Really
off
good
Howler,
spray.
but he gets a kill through the smoke.
He's got his knife again. He's going to check who's here. Does
Nobody's
not detect
pushing.
anybody.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to break the glass so he can get back into heaven, or the overarch. Billy keeping the smokes over onto A, making it hard for them to come out. Howler able to find one. Jimula backing him up.
One enemy remaining.
1 enemy left.
Billy coming
Spike
in.
down A.
Great team
Nice.
play with DSU. Getting a
Flawless.
flawless on their third. This is really what they needed after losing the first 2 in the pistol round. It's going to be giving them equal footing here against USD going into the 4th round, or 4th round of the DSU's defense attack.
Yeah, it is the 4th round of attack. USD is still 1 game away from match point. That means these you can come all the way back and win this game, but it's going to be an uphill battle for sure.
Yep, just anything.
Even if they
that
don't come out
DSU
on
can get on the
top winning
points.
this game, if they're able to get a few rounds and get confident, get motivated, get into the zone, just allow them to get ready for that next match, even if it's, you know, they don't win this one, which they totally still can. It's just going to be a battle, but we'll just see what they
especially
do.
because we're going into Fracture, which is a bit of a weirder map, and USD's pick. We want as much confidence in team morale as we can. I mean, last team worked super great for them, so hopefully I can continue.
Playing it slow with his drone, just trying to... The drone does have its own HP bar.
All right, heavily stacking mid and A here from USD, and I think they're going to be rotating. Yep,
Looks like
rotating
they're heading
A.
over to A. Howler keeping this unlocked. He likes to break that glass so he can just spray right through it. Keep just bouncing in and out of this area. Stay fluid. Doesn't have to stay in one area. Using a flash to just make Mello back up, presumably. They have 4, but that smoke comes in. That's very big. Sky Goblins are coming in. It's a 4v4. 4v3. Favorite DSU. 3v3 DSU.
Frog doing work before being taken out. All right. DSU's going to have to... Some strong presence going in. No one in hell right now. Billy not picking up the kill.
That molly will hurt you really bad, but Xeon, he's going to try to get that recon bolt out. They are able to see one. Mello goes down. That's a
Great
very
shot
big
from
pick.
Xeon.
They know this guy's in the corner. Billy's able to clean it up. They know the last one is not on site because they checked hell. And And Gmulo's going to go for it, but Billy dies. Gmulo's able to pick it up. And it's going to be 5-11.
Mm-hmm. Not as good as the flawless round, but, I mean, a win is a win. You know?
You really expect them to work.
Nonetheless, for sure.
Mm-hmm. So now USD is going to be hurting a bit more.
Definitely. They are going to have to do a pistol round or buy SMGs, which is definitely not preferred when you're on the attack and the other team has rifles. You're not going to be able to close that distance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, DSU's doing a great multi-layered defense there. I mean, both their dubs are on A, right? So, yeah.
Just allowing Howler to hold that. It looks like DSU is calling they're going to do a B rush, having 3 there already. And just Howler in his same position as always. He can rotate quick from that area. Gmulo just holding mid. And they do have knives on USD side, and they do have Renala. That's the wrong game.
Reyna
Not Renata.
Reynala and Reyna ult. Is Red Frog extremely
does go
tagged
down.
up yet?
Zeon's able to get one. Billy's in a really bad spot. Frogfan and Zeon are able to get him out and save his life.
Blinding.
A best case scenario for DSU right here. They just need to play safe. They don't know they have bomb in that up area in the middle, but they do.
What is this? What is Veggie even looking for?
Frog is right on the bomb and he has no idea.
Yeah, I mean, he's got plenty of time, but nowhere to go. I mean,
and he does just have a pistol.
Yeah. I'm surprised he's not running away, if I'm being honest. Yeah. Still immediately picking up that kill.
Perfect. They do have Killjoy ult. Ray's ult. Renat. What's her name?
Reyna ult.
Reyna. I'm just blinking. They have 4 ults on DSU side. So.
Yeah, with only Brim ult on USD, so they could counter ult the
can stop
Killjoy.
that push, but Zeon can just pull out his Minecraft Steve Bow, go sicko mode, you know, stop all that. We have yet to see the Reyna ult be used, but again, the character itself provides so much utility. You rarely need the ult; it just enhances you to become stronger.
Yeah.
Very good one-way smoke here, so you can see their feet, but they can't see you because their head's in the smoke otherwise.
Ooh. Seeing the tag from...
He's working off his smoke. They know they're taking mid. A little bit of a different setup this time. Frogfan is where Howler usually is, and Howler's where Frog usually is. So they have that Killjoy ult all over A instead of B, so that's going to work in their advantage as long as Frogfan does not die.
Yeah, USD. Oh, another tag on Rory there. USD's looking for a weakness in DSU's defense, but they're not exactly finding a great place to hop in. I think they might try an entrance here on B.
They might have figured out that Frogfan was over here.
KO.
30 seconds.
They know
left.
2 are over here. He needs to throw that molly before they run through. He gets it down. Chunks 2 of their armors. Ooh, the blind saving his life. He's throwing his own flash. He has 6 bullets. He's reloading. Mello does take down Gmulo in mid.
Last player standing.
3v1. Frog might be able to
10
get Mello here.
seconds left.
He does have his op, I think.
Spike
No,
planted.
just a phantom.
Now we're getting the wall.
But that does put USD at match point.
I mean,
Match point.
it is match point, but it's much 6-12 is a lot better than it was 9-1 before. So, I mean, the fact that it took them this long to get to match points, speaking very nicely for DSU in the game that's going to go on from here.
Mello does have his operator once again.
Took him a couple rounds, but here it is. See, might get an instant kill again. Oh yeah. Yeah, the op just handles like a dream in Mello's hand. All right, standard split
Revealing area.
offense here from USD.
Take flight.
Mello's watching long on mid here, and Zeon spotting Mello with the Sova drone.
Billy might be looking to ult. Both
Yeah.
Sovas are ulting.
trying to find...
The operator does find Billy, though. With both those two being dead, it's going to be really hard to stop a push. Gmo's going to have to do something crazy. I personally would ult. Give me that extra advantage.
The headshot going in. USD's at a severe advantage here for match
Spike
point.
planted.
DSU.
Scanning ahead.
Yeah.
Down.
Able to
Map.
find one. Howler's one off his ult. Can be very useful, give him a lot of intel.
Last player standing.
It is a 1v4. See what Xeon can't do. Does survive the op,
Shotgun.
but he does not have the time.
Yeah, that ice was just killing him in that hallway.
Attackers
Kind
win.
of just a sitting duck. Map point going to USD for that round.
GGs are coming out.
6-13. So going to be moving on to Fracture here after the break. I'm excited. I just like watching Fracture. So stay around for that one. I think DSU is going to surprise some people on Fracture.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and
Absolutely.
see, but it should be a fun time. Will be harder for Mello to work with his op. Very, very close and short map. So yeah, we'll see you guys in a few.
When I would dream, they told me stop it. So much hate, it made me nauseous. Worked in silence, made me cautious. I exerted every option. Count me out, must think I lost it. Losing sleep, somehow I fought it. I heard life was a box of chocolates. Ain't shit sweet round here, it's toxic. Made the most of what we got. We go hard, been through a lot. So we party till we drop. Tell the neighbors it won't stop. Watch your shorty hit me up on days I need to pick me up. I just wanna live it up. Can somebody lift me up?
everybody to Fracture. Absolutely mind-bogglingly huge event. Just been seeing so many people in chat just raving to see some Fracture gameplay in CCL.
Absolutely going ballistic.
Definitely not me on alternate accounts. But it's going to be fun. This DSU does need to clinch up for this map if we want to see Icebox, which was also their pick. And if the second round is any evidence, they are going to do much better. They kind of recompose themselves.
Yeah, being able to pick the map is very powerful, but being able to pick a side on the map is very powerful as well. As we see, DSU really wanted that defense. They boosted them, really helped them a lot. So they're able to get the side for this map, see what they can't do with it, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, DSU picked attack on this map. So they are going to be starting in the same situation as last time. So I don't know exactly what advantage they saw in attacking on Fracture first, I guess. It is a hard map to defend with the 6 entrance points on each.
There's a lot of different ways the attackers can go about it. They can rotate, do a lot of stuff. A lot of different angles to come in. It's very very open, I guess is a good way to put it.
Yeah.
But we'll just have to see how they approach it. We haven't seen much play on it. Fractured's my most played map in Valorant. I played Valorant a little bit right when that map came out, so it was the only map I was able to ever play, pretty much.
I think I agree with you. I think I've played the same amount of Fractures I have every other map.
Yeah, it's a termite. But we're loading in.
Now. Exciting transition. I love that. All right.
See what sides, who is getting locked in.
Cypher. We did see a Cypher from Xeon a couple weeks ago. It did really well. Billion.
Breach
Viper.
is essential, as I was saying at the start, and both sides already have that hovered.
3 hovering chamber on USD's side. Clearly some internal conflict there.
Very sus, definitely.
Jamula transferring over to Jet.
I know Jamula likes playing Cypher, and Howler likes playing Breach as well. When he was the designated Sova player, his other main was Breach, so we'll definitely get to see him in his comfortable environment, throwing out flashes and just slowing down the enemy. DSU does have a Viper, which is usually the main smoke. It looks like USD is going to opt for another Brim for their main smoke.
Brim is a very good smoker now that he's gotten that buff. Ability to smoke off places without needing to be very close.
Select your agent.
Oh, select that.
Haven't locked in.
Come down to the wire,
Yeah.
yeah. She was kind of demanding something. I don't think I've heard that.
We're going to see Chamber, entirely different comps. Again, only thing that's going to be the same is the Breach, unless it will auto-lock it in for him. So that's the only thing that's the same. Once again, entirely different comps, so they're going to play off of each other. Actually, we did opt for a Brim on both sides as well. I didn't see that. So DSU has a lot more smoke power than USD side.
Yeah, we kind of got the dream team going on our side. With Breach and we just have great team chemistry, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, we'll have to see. I'm really interested to see how USD defense will hold up. Chamber is probably going to hold the site close, pretty much, basically by himself. He has a lot of that utility. At the start of the round, the attacking side can take these grapples, and the other team will not hear it, not to give an advantage to where they're starting. So the defense has to prepare accordingly. B is going to have a lot of heavy defense with the Chamber and the Sage, while the Ace Point will have really aggressive posture with the Brim going to instantly peek and the Breach and the Raze going to instantly peek. There's going to be some heavy confrontation right here at the start of the match.
Oh, yeah.
Spike down A.
And they get a really good concussion before from Howler to make it a 4v4, almost a 4v3. But they're going to instantly leave, start moving over. They have the wall already on A, and they're posturing towards B. So they're split over an A. They don't know exactly where. Billy's able to win his 1v1. They're going to take site quick. They don't know Chamber's there, but he's got his pistol out and ready. It looks really goofy. He does teleport out. That's why he's not there anymore, for those who are a little confused.
Activating his card ability. Alright, yeah. Veggie and Frog? What was that, guys?
Who?
Red Frog. Okay, I thought I saw Frog, but I was like, we have Frog.
So it is still a 3v3, but they have bomb advantage. You just got to play it right.
Yeah, Billy.
Jimbo instantly going down. They don't need to peek. Howler's doing a good flank here, able to get one. It's going to really pressure him. Oh, runs out of bullets.
How did that miss? That was
another extremely close round.
Yeah, I think that was DSU's best pistol round yet. Yeah, close they've come.
Howler had that extended mag attachment on the pistol. He would have won that round, surely.
Yeah, bro, you got
his pick 10 system was not used right. That's for sure.
All right, let's see where DSU decides to attack from this time. They got a lot of options. Satellite is, I think, a tough entrance. Me personally, I never had much luck trying to enter from there. I do like coming in from the backside on A.
But if you do able to enter there, you do have the high ground onto A. Able to get a really good vantage point doesn't mean you will exactly be able to use it, because you're going to be right in the open. Billy goes down. Jimula doesn't know he's doing left.
Player standing.
Unfortunate.
Worried about the immediate threat right in front of him.
Yeah.
So we just have Frog Fan left with the bomb. And they are going to be able to get that flawless.
Not the worst flawless in the world, since they were expected to win that. Still a bit demoralizing, but move it up here.
Nonetheless, DSU not ever expected to win that second round. It's called a free round for a reason. So they're going to come in with all the rifles, while USD is all stuck with their shotties, or their submachine guns. So we'll see what DSU can't do. Billy does the same setup every time. Splits A, so they cannot play CT. They have to play on site. But, however, his smoke does not help them from this angle right there. Melo's going to play really aggressively. Frog's going to get jumped here, and he has the bomb. This is really bad
Spike
for
down.
DSU.
Attacker spawn.
Not seeing the extra guy there.
Cage triggered.
It was a really good call by USD to pinch that.
We're done with the attack there, and it ends up
One enemy remaining.
working out.
Xeon and Howler are able to clutch up. They don't have the bomb still, but he used his ult, sees where he's at. He knows I'm able to get this bomb safe and sound.
I have retrieved the
He
spike.
grabs it. He's running over. They don't have any smokes or anything to guarantee a safe plant, but they have Cypher with that cam. They're going to play it slow, plant it right in the corner, and 2v1. It was a 4v2 just a second ago, so this is really good for DSU. They have the concussion ready. Could all blow up at a moment's notice. It's just a matter of time.
Last player standing.
Xeon, Red Frog very low. He's gonna need an instant headshot if Red Frog wants to win this.
Dang.
Doing incredible work with that Spectre.
He will have time to get that defused.
Yeah, unfortunate.
Clutch.
They did the best they could. You know, they
Red
went from
Frog
4v2
coming out
to
really
2v1.
strong this game. He's already got 6 kills.
Yep,
He has his ult.
He was a top fragger early game as well for the last map. Very, very good at turning the situation around. And DSU is going to take their time out once again.
I'd say DSU is favored for attack. I'm guessing that's why they chose it. Because the USD was able to pick this map. So we just need to see them recuperate, come back, and see how they're going to approach this. They keep they keep getting. I think they need to change up Billy's thing, but it does split A really well. Makes them play like unnatural because they cannot play from CT because that sight line is completely blocked off.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I think that the USD has clearly practiced Fracture a lot for their first round map pick. They very clearly wanted to catch DSU off guard here, I think, with the bit of unconventional pick. And I think it's working out for them so far, at least, with the 3 wins. And here's where DSU's going to have to shift the momentum, if you will. Where DSU getting more of a split offensive here. Going for satellite. Xeon.
Xeon caught with his. Melo's able to pick him up, but Billy's able to get him. He's gonna get his rifle, put a gun in his hands. Very good. A's still split, but they're able to see that open part entry. But they are entering in from the other side of A as well.
Brim getting that smoke out, making it very hard to push out.
A lot of smoke's going down. They're using Viper. Viper ult really impactful on this map. It covers the entire area. Frogfan able to just delete that guy.
Yeah.
He looked like George.
Yep. Absolutely. All right. Veggie and Rory going up the back here. Straight into Frog fans' sightlines. Hopefully you can get the.
If he can hear.
Ooh.
Viper ult's still down. You see, this is what I'm saying. People are afraid to use Reyna ult because he increases the attack speed. Brim just does it every day, dude. He's just taking crack. Jingler able to get 2 spicy deegs.
Getting the dub with 2 remaining players for their first win.
Timeout did good work for DSU, able to get them back in.
Yep.
Recuperate that 5-on-1 manhunt.
Turned out great for them. The satellite working for them. For some reason, I love talking about that site, but the 2v1 straight against Mello brought him out of the equation, giving them a bit of a disadvantage. Red Frog as well was killed in the Viper ult, right? So
Red Frog did use his ult as well, so that's gone. It's just each team has a breach ult, which, if you didn't know, sends out a giant shockwave that gets bigger as it goes, so it gets more wide. It starts narrow initially, and if it hits the person, it knocks them up into the air. We're about to see it. Oh, it was for our team. So anybody? Oh, and now we're gonna see it again. Gets knocked up, and then they're instantly concussed. Can't see much. But they're able to get control of this site, get the bomb down. It is a 5v3, very good for DSU.
Flash out.
nice.
Flash is coming out.
All right.
It is a 2v2 now. Mello and Red Frog, their strongest players.
One enemy
Nice
remaining.
tag.
Able to
Mello
catch
there.
Mello though.
Red Frog's got almost nothing there. And
Howler able to see his ear and just slice that thing surgically off.
Yep.
DSU having a very, very large econ lead. Sage having a metric load of money on their side, but she's gonna have to force a buy or else she's gonna go over her budget. But it'd probably be best to put her money. Not saying she's, popping out, not doing the best, but there are clearly other people who would do better with a gun. So I'd say give it to one of them. But looks like she's gonna stay conservative this round. Billy doing a big open. They're doing a brimstone ult. Probably gonna nuke the up part where the chamber is, or we'll see in a second. Oh, they're both going up there. Now would be a great time to nuke it. But Xeon's in the blast range. He's able to get a double.
Did not expect that. What, getting the double, very sick, very clean.
Did a sick clutch, pulling a dream,
One enemy
doing some
remaining.
sick parkour.
DC's doing a great job of applying pressure from multiple angles now.
The camera is looking around all sussy. It does get spotted.
Ooh.
Billy is really low though, and Xeon is at a quarter, so they'll see what they can do. But bodies are bodies, and they will still use their abilities to slow down this menace of Mellow. He's able to get it though.
Billy was able to survive on 5 health for almost the entire round.
And he almost killed himself at the end there, but he grabbed the grapple just in time to not fall to his doom. DSU kicking it back in. It's now a 3 versus 3, doing great work. Should have clipped that double
that's
headshot for Xeon.
Oh yeah. Then after he comboed that into the he reported the bodies right when he killed them, so he get the intel on where the enemy teams can be attacking from. Really helped them out there.
Keep track of everybody, you know, check vitals.
Yeah, so USD, I mean, maybe they're not a timeout guy, but I think after this, they might need to be reconsidering how they're going to be defending.
They're doing a different approach. They've been hitting B really hard, but now they're doing a hard B push. They are nuking it though, stopping that push, Brim. And you can rotate really fast on this map through CT, and we're going to see that happen. Veggie getting a 3-man. That's really bad for DSU. Dismantles that push. 4v2. Gmula does have his knives, but Mello has the bazooka. Never mind, he's got an op.
Yep,
He
Xeon,
doesn't
the
even
only
need a
one
bazooka.
remaining left. They're going to be going on a manhunt for him right now. Red Frog looks like he might be picking him up. If he keeps going that
5v1
way.
manhunt. Dream cosplay. We're going to see what happens.
All right, Xeon is just going to try to play it safe back here in the
He's probably
corner.
going to grab this orb if he can.
Might as well
to
pick him in.
Yeah.
Ult.
He might just go for plant. Oh, there is a great wall built. Stopping his passage.
Yeah,
30
USD is
seconds
not
left.
too concerned with finding him, to be honest. They are just chilling, watching the sights, making sure he doesn't get up to any shenanigans. He does have Spike. It doesn't look like he's too concerned with trying to get it planted. I think
He's just.
I mean, he's not exactly saving. Oh, never mind. He is very concerned. We're into the natural walled one now, but getting shot immediately. Well, he put us all into that one. Mello does have the op on him, and I mean, he handles that thing like a dream. So it's kind of
Xeon-
the thing to behold.
Xeon is doing really well though this game. He's top fragging. Can't always win, you know, the manhunts though. Sometimes you misplay, take too much wall damage.
Yeah, you know, fail the grapple.
Fail the MLG water bucket.
Yeah,
It
like that.
happens.
All right, Cypher setting up cams here.
Yes, this should do.
It's actually a trip, like a landmine type thing. I don't know how else to call it. If you go
Oh, that
over
was
it,
the
it reveals
camera.
your location.
Yeah, I see.
And they are doing a 3-man stack. Red Frog able to get that early pick on Gmula.
Billy waiting to intercept.
Mello
Brim
able to
there.
get Frog Fan with his op. And by now, the entire enemy team is rotated over to B. Besides the Brim with a very cheeky angle holding here. Billy able to win his ones though. And they might just double back because
Camera taken out.
Billy probably has his wall up, and they think the bomb's going to go down, but they're taking the slow grapple so they can't hear. And they're going to regroup with Xeon and see what they can't do. By now, USD, of course, is going to get a little sus because the bomb hasn't gone down.
33 seconds left, so a bit of a time limit here. It's like a
30 seconds left.
This wall's going to take a bit to drop. And he's stuck between a rock and a hard place. Billy's wasting no time grabbing that. The whole team is rotating over. Sage is just buying.
Oh yeah,
They're going to have to commit to this side of the map.
Oh yeah,
The bazooka is
it's
out.
not looking great.
Player standing.
Finishing them
10
off.
seconds left.
Xeon Howler's in a real pickle.
Oh, not a lot you can go there. Ooh, picking off Veggie, 2v1, but not.
Defenders win. Sucks because Howler, he actually does have a bit of money, so it's not going to be that big of a disadvantage. If he dies, he can buy one of his teammates a gun.
Yeah.
See if he does.
Yeah, USD doing a great job there of slowing their approaches. And kind of kept DSU guessing on where to enter from, and Making it tricky.
Here.
USD is now using the advantage of Fracture to their,
This goes here.
the disadvantage, you'd say, to their advantage, being able to, I don't know how he got concussed. Howler must have accidentally hit him, trying to do something spicy. But, they're able to rotate through CT very quick. It's a very short map if you're able to run from one side to the other in less than 10 seconds. Or less than even 7 seconds. Flashes are all coming out. That chamber is... Red Frog is right behind it.
Ooh, doesn't stop Red Frog from getting the headshot on Jamie.
Billy is on to B and gets his ult down though. So they're gonna have full control of that site. Should be really hard for them to retake. Does cancel it did cancel the spike because of the knockup. It pushes you out of that animation.
Great preach util then.
It is still a 4v3 though. All the ults just
Planted the spike.
didn't hit it or didn't kill anybody, nothing lethal. So
Our Viper using her mask to make sure she stays
the bomb bot
back
coming in.
inside.
They are able to get a res off. It's a 4v4. This reticle runs right on it, but he doesn't have walls. 4v2, Billy getting one. He still has full control of his Venom Cloud. Mellow does find it, so the walls are coming. The cage comes down. Mellow does find and connect with both of them with the...
That was an absolutely chaotic round there. I do say so myself. I gotta say, with so many smokes going on, I have no idea how they even find their way around the map. It was just... Even though I could like literally see everybody with wall hacks, I still... it's very disorientating just having so many smokes in the Viper ult and everything. But USD... able to still clutch out the round, despite having the Viper smoke.
This is a nice spot.
It's all reaction from the players. They're just playing off of reactions. They see somebody, they click.
Get out of my way!
Billy doing a different lineup for his Viper wall on B instead of A now.
Toxins going up.
So if they do rotate back, they're going to have to play safer in the CT area, but they're going to have a free wall to get onto site now with just the chamber in their way.
Toxins going up.
I'm watching long, so it's building.
Mello uses her jump. He's able to not find a pick though, very useful, not dying.
Despite the two ops, still able to get Billy and Frog on site and the plant as well. No one's died yet, surprisingly. Only a little bit damage on the young Viper. Despite a lot of shots. Not buying a gun, using the ult, see if we can get a pick off that. Pick up the gun.
Doesn't need guns, he just has knives. One click, one kill, there's 5 for a reason.
Oh, back and forth going on, Veggie.
4v2, bomb is down if they can play time properly. Howler's smoke is
get a
going
great
to
flank
Last
here.
player
Oh,
standing.
except someone behind him.
someone is behind him.
Yeah.
There's always a bigger fish behind you, I suppose.
Yeah. Alright.
Puts this to 7-9, so at worst, DSU will be in the same position they were with the 9-3. They do have Chamber and Brim ult. Chamber ult is quite a doozy on this map since you do want to rush out. If one person gets picked by that op, it will create that huge slow and it will just completely stop that push on top of having another operator with Mellow. So it's 2 guns with 1-shot kills, very rough, and Mellow has 7,000 bucks. Easily get another one the next round.
Yep, that 4-game winning streak absolutely set the economy. So DSU's looking for, I mean,
One
doesn't
thing
really
that
have an advantage in these final rounds.
these guys always do well that I struggle with
Spike down
is
A.
if I'm getting blinded in a game, I lose all sort of memory of where I'm at. I'm just walking in a straight line like a robot. These guys know how to do that and get behind cover.
Yeah, very easy for us when we don't even see the blinds. We just get the insignia. Just not realize their very cool ability to just keep firing.
There's going to be some confrontation here with Mellow. See if Jamula can't do it. He's got the op. He no-scopes him, it looks like even.
Alright.
Billy is
42
not
here
behind
for
a hard
DSU.
wall, though. Mello picks up a rifle. Doesn't have his op. Howler does go down, but they do have all the poison on it. And they're both in the same area.
One enemy
Billy
remaining.
winning his one.
Last player
Frog
standing.
Fang does go down, but he's got another molly. But by a lot of time, he can stall out that frag. Nice. And Billy wins his ones as well. He won 3 of them. Wins us the round. Hopefully he
Last
doesn't die
round
to
before
bomb.
the
He
switch.
doesn't. Thank goodness. If they're able to win this round, it'll be very nice. If they can win that
7-5
pistol,
is-
put it at 7-7 with the free round. Some quick math.
Very, very close game.
You
Above
take the
net
grapple
pairs.
so quick.
Mhm.
You fly around.
Yeah, grapple. When I played, I just went back and forth in the grapple for the entirety of the pre-round.
Pretty sure I was with you, and we just did that
Yep,
for
we
a whole
were.
round one time.
Might have also done it during the round, but
Billy does have his thing back up onto A, and
barely surviving that.
Chamber's ult is out. I didn't know you could survive Chamber ult. I thought it would kill.
I
Maybe
think
it's thigh and
legs.
above, but maybe hit his toe. The pinky toe just
He
completely
survived
shattered.
on less, so just a couple rounds ago. Going on the under hallway, he could catch Mello and Veggie off guard.
They do have a lot at B. It is a 4v5 in favor of USD, though.
Shooting down Sage, well, so they're gonna know they're
Someone's
looking
there
at
at least.
B. Although, nope, they decided to turn around, keeping their attention a little bit long. Oh, yep, they are moving out. Keeping their attention a little bit longer on A to have.
Ooh, Billy almost finded him. He's got to be careful, though.
Billy needs exact play if he wants to get a pick here.
Breaches has something out. I don't know what it is. I don't know how that doesn't connect with him. But
I thought that was a
Chamber does come out.
Last player standing. Spike down B.
It's just Howler, 4v1.
Tactics shooting out there, unfortunately.
And that was the last round of the half, I'm pretty sure.
Switching sides.
DSU's really going to be looking for the to pick up the pistol rounds for the first time here. Would put them right back in the game immediately. But if they don't pick up pistol rounds, it is going to be it's going to be close because they're probably going to get 10-4 on the board then, and that's when they're going to have to really turn things around if they want to see Icebox.
I do like DSU's defense setup, though. They have Brim, who can smoke from any, like if he's in the middle of the map, he can hit both, probably. I don't know how big his new reach is, but it's definitely much bigger than what it was. Cypher can hold down a whole site without even being on it. And it looks like the rest of them are going to do the exact same thing USD did with a dish rush.
Launching smoke.
Yep.
Dropping that smoke.
Going on
USD
from
is running
behind.
the whole distance. It's a gosh darn marathon.
Thankfully, USD has
Xeon
looks like
is
they have
able to
no
get his
interest in-
ones. Frog's in a smoke. They killed both people on this side of the map. USD does have the option to just leave, go back to the other side.
Cage triggered.
Looks like they might be taking it as well.
DSU is using a lot of utility to make sure they have a very difficult time coming up, but they're already running back to A
Yeah, very
and
mobile.
gonna meet them at the exact same time. Gmo's gonna be already looking out here. Let's see if they do it. They don't go through that door. They're all just gonna run on the main. They're gonna have to run through a molly to do that. Let's see if they'll do it. The wall is up, but the molly's down. Mello jumps up. He does get blasted. They ran through that molly.
Oh my goodness.
That molly does give them the vulnerable state, meaning they're going to take extra damage. Headshots, of course, will still one shot from the ghost this early on, but the vulnerable will make that the classic just do that much more damage. Probably even a two-shot.
DSU taking advantage of every mistake they could there. Bring out the flawless round. Going to give them a really big advantage here in the next rounds.
I'm really confident with Xeon on Cypher for defense. That guy, that Sentinel, really does a good job holding down, especially on this map. The cam can see so much from this angle. He can just hold heaven. He doesn't have to peek ever, though. He can just check that sight line with his camera. And they can never
Poison
push
orb
up to him.
emitting.
That's a push we did not see from DSU there. A strong push.
Billy is able to take one with him, though, which is good. But that does put an SMG in USD's hands.
Looks like
The Sage is still alive. They could heal up Breach on USD's side. They probably will, but just have to wait and see.
Xeon the only defense over on B here.
Xeon's camera does go down, so he doesn't know exactly where they're at. Let's see. Oh,
He's in trouble
he's
here.
got information of heaven. He gets one. Able to lit his butt.
Yep. Did great there until the 2 more people playing.
They do kill the Sage. No more heals, though. Frog does have his armor.
Spike planted.
So 3v3. Heavily advantaged DSU, even though bomb is down, because those two are such low HP.
We just need a strong, clean push here.
Blinding.
Check in heaven. Red Frog is. Oh!
Last
Frog
player
is able to get
standing.
it on Frog, and Veggie takes down his opposition on the Breach.
Just looking for
Ooh.
ninja
Ring
defuse.
around the Rosie.
Yeah, wow.
Ring around the Rosie. That is not good.
USD was not
DSU.
happy about that pistol round. Pulling it back with the thrifty was absolutely crazy. I did not expect that coming. The Veggie, right, was the one flanking from behind, picking off the extra 2, absolutely changing things around. Even with low health pulls, I mean, we saw Billy earlier too with 5 health lasting the entire round, picking up 3 kills or something like that. So.
I was really surprised he didn't re-push when he entered combat with his teammate, Veggie,
Let's
that
go.
is. But he trusted the timer on the bomb and didn't take any risks.
Yep, not going as well as they could be for DSU right now.
It is more of an A push this time. Mello jumping straight on, but they don't know about Jimula. He could get them something crazy.
Reading.
It is a for 3v3 nonetheless. Billy does have a gun in his hand now. Dion does have a little bit of a flank. Frog just has his classic.
Red Frog taking out Billy in the back
The
there.
only one with the gun, so let's see what can happen with our 2 classic users.
Last player standing.
They double peek, so they're able to get one at least. It's all about disrupting their momentum.
Spike planted.
Most of these guns were from DSU, so. If he can live with that Phantom, I bet he'll be chilling. But he might try to take 1 or 2 with him still.
Yeah, I mean,
Even
1
if
to
that
2
means
isn't
the bomb.
possible here.
He's very sketched out about Dish.
Very sketched out. Oh, he might be. Yeah, I was about to say, so focused on it, you might not be able to see the guy from behind.
He thought he saw a dead body he could report. Was not the case.
Yep, failed emergency meeting there. And USD getting 2 back-to-back wins, putting DC in a very risky situation where they're 2 rounds from
Match point.
match point, and this is a bye round for them, so this is very close. If they lose
That
this,
goes there. This goes here.
very unlikely we're gonna see even.
DSU is coming all out this round,
Yeah,
putting 3 of the members down to 0 credits.
it's gonna decide.
Frog
they-
is opening hard though, getting that opening pick.
Poison's off.
Peeking together. It's gonna go for that.
Oh,
Must have just missed him, Frog did. He's able to get both of them. Definitely not pleased with that.
ooh,
But
great
Xeon
pick.
tying it back up with 3v3. See what Xeon can't do. He does not have his camera anymore, but he does have his ult if he can find a dead body. Barely missing each other. Probably saw the seam of his hat before
Spike planted.
saw the ponytail of her hair.
Yeah, USD's really incredible at those flicks there. 1v1s, they're very pretty consistent.
Gonna force her out of that corner. Yep, or
Ooh,
she'll die to it. They know one is there.
Flash out.
They're gonna have to go quick.
One enemy remaining.
One left. They don't know where, but they're gonna go for
Last
bomb.
player standing.
Tuck pulling out one. Going for the defuse.
Can he get it to half? He cannot. He's just trying to get it to half so he could maybe shoot. But
Tuck doing a lot of work there.
Tuck doing work with these mollies. We've been seeing it. He does really good with them.
Yeah, unless... I mean, DSU can still definitely get a thrifty, or but it is going to be a tough road ahead for DSU on this map.
One interesting thing to note is we haven't seen Mello with the op. As I said, it's probably not the best pick. It just won't be as useful as some of the other maps. So
Yep, so many close combat scenarios.
he's definitely just opting for the rifle. Much better. He can still get those one taps with the Vandal, so he doesn't care too much. CFG Mula himself can't get any one taps. Mello got hit, but traded his frog, but
Ooh,
Mula isn't able to find his mark.
This whole USD is just so consistent with the headshot flicks, man. It's like you got to get them right away. Tuck, Mellow, Red Frog, all crazy with it. Frog frame.
Off your feet.
Now.
Pixel perfect placements, that's what they do, you know. MLG buckets aren't easy for a reason. That's why the pros do it.
Spike planted.
Sion is making some noise. That guy does know he's there, definitely. They're playing Ringer on the Rosie, but Veggie peeks first. Frog almost able to see one. Bidley going down. It's a 2v4.
Last player standing.
4v1, 4v0. Match
Frog
point,
picking up
USD.
the last two. This is... I mean, USD also
Match
has...
point.
I mean, both teams have 3 ults going on. Maybe... I mean, we might see a Viper ult here.
DSU is definitely
Yeah,
going to
the
go all
breach
out.
ult.
Buying everything they possibly can.
I mean, they did get a full buy-in. They got full shields and everything. So... This is...
As we can see, the Sage has the highest ping. That's why she is on the bottom of the leaderboard, though.
Wow, yeah, she has a considerably higher ping. Did not notice that.
Billy is popping his ult. He's going to shut down this entire entryway into B. Make it much harder for him. They're going to have to come from that other side of B. He's not allowing this way. Leaves Frog Fan all up to this. Well, Gmula and Billy or Xeon are doing a flank, and they can catch a lot. Ooh! His hat does go off, so I don't know if he does get the location
nice.
still, but it is a 4v3 still.
You will not kill my
5v3.
allies.
That's just
Yeah.
what DSU did not want to hear.
Yeah, that Sage ult was always going to be a killer, making the last
Launching
round.
smoke.
Going to be a 6v5 no matter what happened.
They do have breach ult still. It's coming out. Boom, 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 boom. Throwing out his flashes. Able to get one.
Working great.
Able to get two. I already knew it. I didn't even need to see it. He's going up. He's gonna get one more. He's gonna cannon
30
that.
seconds left. Last player standing.
She's in the last pick. It is a 1v3 here.
Billy is in the middle,
Not
and
gonna
he
clutch
does
it
go
up.
down.
Attackers win.
Does suck,
Unfortunate.
but USD did play really good.
Yep, USD played great on both maps. So, very, very fun maps. I think we...
Very cool to see Fractured. I still hate Ascent, so wasn't pleased to see that, but if DSU likes it, then they like it.
Well, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. If you want to know more streams, check out the Twitter, check out the Instagram, Trojan Esports.
We do have
Exclamation point socials, I think, works. So,
exclamation point socials. We have, I think, both Rocket League and League of Legends tomorrow. I don't know exactly when Rocket League is, but I'm pretty sure League is at 8, and it should be a good time. So yeah.
All
Anything
right.
else to say, Tim?
No.
Okie dokie.
Have a great night, everybody.
You spill them up as I collect. But I fall for it half a million times, like a bad old house, just one peek inside. You're the mystery with hair of history. My hands are red. You're the monster under my bed. Reach for me when I repent, and I should have learned. I should have learned. You're the monster under my bed, making mess I keep trying to address. Cannot come to terms.